Hey everybody, welcome back to Leanne's Corner. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I know I am. Before we get into this video, I'm going to need for you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that post notification bell so that way you're always notified whenever I upload my videos. Make sure you thumbs up this video, be active in those comments, and share my videos with your family, friends, haters, innovators, and all those good people. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to get into it because I've been trying to do this video, but it's been hard because I keep hearing Zora. I thought she was woke, and she woke. So we're going to try to go ahead and get into it while she preoccupied right now. Let's go ahead and talk Mr. T.D. Jakes and his sermon that he did last month called Real Men Pour In. And I know some of y'all like, bitch, why you ain't do this last month? Well, bitch, this shit just went viral. And I don't listen to T.D. Jakes like that because he said a lot of shit that I don't agree with. He just moved funny to me. I honestly think Mr. T.D. Jakes is a profit organization. So, yeah. So, Mr. T.D. Jakes has said a whole bunch of shit to piss people off. And one of the things that he did say that pissed a lot of people off was we're raising our daughters to be men. Meaning that we're raising our daughters to be too independent, basically. Mr. T.D. Jakes, this is not the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. This is 2022, okay? Things aren't how they used to be. And for you to sit there and say that we're raising our daughters to be too independent is some fuck nigga shit. And that is you being a fucking hypocrite. Because I'm pretty sure you and your wife have raised Sarah to be independent and to go out there and get her own and not to always rely on a nigga for shit. Okay? So how the fuck can you come in front of a congregation, people that pay your motherfucking bills, and tell them that they're raising their daughters to be too fucking independent? It really pisses me off because it's like you're trying to make people feel bad for parenting their kids the way they're parenting their kids. Understand that you got some people out there that don't give a fuck about their kids at all, that have kids and they're not putting any effort into raising their fucking kids. They're not talking to them. They're not listening to their kids. It's a lot of shit that a lot of these deadbeat ass parents ain't doing. So how dare you to attack the ones that are teaching their kids you could be anything that you want to fucking be. You be independent. You go out there and get your own. You don't rely on the other to do anything for you unless you're married. And even then, you still go out there and do your motherfucking thing. So how dare you say some sexist ass shit like that because you don't want to be in the house and just be fucking housewives? How dare you? You sound like a fucking hater. That's what you sound like. It's a lot of men, and I can attest to this because my dad is one of these men, along with my mother, who raised me, and not just me, but all of their kids. My two sisters and my brother to be independent, and that's why we are the way we are. Don't rely on anybody to do anything for you. Go out there and get it yourself. And they ain't tell us to go out there and get it illegally. It's always a way to make money. That's how my parents have raised me. Go out there and get your own and don't rely on anybody to do anything for you, because that's when you end up hurting yourself by depending on motherfuckers to do everything for you. The only person my parents told me to rely on is the man above. And it says it in the Bible, we should rely on the man above. Bring our problems to him. Lay them at his altar and he will take care of it. T.D. Jakes is one of the most biggest hypocrites. The most biggest, wealthiest hypocrites ever. It's a lot of men out here that sit down and have talks, especially with their girls, that you don't have to rely on a man financially at all. You can do whatever it is that a nigga could do. Period. That's how a lot of men raise their girls. So for you to go back and say that they're raising their kids wrong and they're making their daughters men because of men and women are changing the mentality of what a real woman is, because that has changed. Then he goes on to say, women don't allow men to pour in. It's not that women don't allow men to pour in. It's that we are picking what we want a man to pour into us. Women don't, not even just women, but people in general. A lot of people don't want no one pouring no toxic shit into them. And that's what's going on a lot of these days, is that people are pouring into one another and the shit is toxic, and then they get mad because they receive a toxic result. It's not that we don't want a man to pour into us. We do. We just don't want the wrong thing to be poured into us, causing us to be cautious as to what is being poured into us. So I don't know what little side hoes that T. Jakes is fucking around with or whatever that got him feeling this way, but that's what it sound like. Whatever little young bitch that he got at the church that won't let him pour into her because she probably realized that this pastor is toxic as fuck. That's probably what it really is. And I'm pretty sure that you raised your kids, and I'm going to keep saying Sarah, I'm pretty sure you raised Sarah to not allow certain things to be poured into her by a man. So how dare you get in that pulpit and say the shit that you're saying? If you're going to say it, it's a better way to fucking say it. Or if you were going to talk to men about this shit, you should have just had a meeting put together with you and just the men. Then he goes on to say, women always brag about how much they don't need a man and what they got and what kind of car they drive, what kind of purse they got, what kind of house they living in. Hypocrite, because you just recently bragged about something that your name was put on downtown, was it downtown Atlanta or whatever the fuck he stay at? But you just bragged about that shit. Oh God, I ain't asked for that. Bragging. Don't nobody care about that. What it sounds like, TD Jakes, is that you're looking at women that are on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter who post nothing but facades. It seems like that's where you're getting your so-called facts from. It's from the internet. But what you fail to realize, a lot of these men and women, they're boasting on the internet, and that shit is a fucking facade. And yes, men and women do raise their daughters to think, yes, you do not need a man financially, because you can go out there and you can work, you can get you a good ass job and support yourself. Not saying that we don't need a man. We're just saying that parents are just teaching their kids that put yourself first. Until the day that you get married, put yourself first. Work on you first. Then make time for a nigga. Once you are settled and your career is going the way you want it to go. And that's how it should be. Because sometimes what happens is when women, and not just women, but when people love someone and get into these relationships, they stop doing the things that make them happy. It makes them mentally lazy in their careers. Because a lot of the times they don't have the right person pouring into them. And they get so caught up in this person to where they become mentally lazy. Their careers and the things that they want, their aspirations, their dreams, their goals, they become mentally lazy. And when they become mentally lazy, they slow down and they're not as great as they were before that person came into their lives. That's why we teach our kids to focus on you, get to know you, love on you first. Do you get to where you're trying to go? And once you get there, then you continue to work, but don't allow your dating life or your marriage or your relationship to get in the way of what you got going on. Don't nobody want nobody pouring into them, and it ain't nothing but toxicness, negativity, abuse. And abuse comes in all kinds of forms. You got mental abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. And it just pisses me off. Because he ain't nothing but a nigga that's depending on the fucking poor to pay his motherfucking bills. Then TD Jakes goes on to say that a lot of women put men on child support for attention and to seek revenge. Now, he has a point there. You do have some people, and I'm not just going to put it on just the woman, because in today's society, you have a lot of single fathers out there, and you have some single fathers that do put their baby moms on child support because they're not doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. They need help with raising this child. He kind of has a point, but then again, you have a lot of people out here that make kids, they lay up and they have sex, and then when a child is being formed inside of the woman, you have either the man or the woman that don't want to be in the child's life as soon as the child fucking gets here, or even before that. Because there's been plenty of times where I've been in court and I've done seen quite a few niggas who have their baby mothers on child support because that's a deadbeat ass bitch. And then you do have some people that put their ex or the baby mother or the baby father on child support just to seek revenge. But a lot of the times what happens is that you have let's just use men for a prime example. You have men that'll get a bitch pregnant. You got some men that'll tell the chick to get an abortion. If they don't get an abortion, they'll tell you, like, I'm not going to be there for the child. I'm not going to do this for the child. Fuck that motherfucking baby. You got some niggas that are fucking heartless out here that says some dumbass shit like that. Everything's all good until a baby is about to come into the picture, or until a baby comes into the picture. And you have niggas out here that will get a bitch pregnant. You got some bitches out here that'll give that father a chance over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to step up as a father. And it's not always about the fucking money. Like me personally, I don't give a fuck about that money. Spend time with your motherfucking child. That's all I give a fuck about. But you got niggas out here that don't give a fuck to even spend time with their child at all. You got some niggas that'll rather pay child support but not spend time with their child. They'll sit up, or you got some niggas that won't pay child support and won't even check on their child or spend time with their child. But you can see them riding around in a nice ass car. You can see them paying for their girlfriend or their boyfriend to get their motherfucking hair done, get their nails done, get their toes done, and all of this bullshit. And then you can see niggas out here that pay for their motherfucking drug habit, always high smoking weed all the time, popping pills, snorting coke, doing crack, all that shit. But you can't take care of your fucking child. Every time you turn around and your child need this or that or whatever, and you go to that nigga and ask them, hey, can you help me, or can you go half with me on this? They ain't got the money. Or they'll say, I ain't got no ride to come get the child. Or if you bring the child to them, I gotta go to work, but your ass ain't at motherfucking work. You at work, but your ass can't pay child support. What happened to talking about these type of niggas? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of women ain't out here just dogging niggas just to be dogging niggas. So if you gonna talk about anybody, don't sit up here and make it seem like the ones that's actually doing their motherfucking job as a parent are doing the wrong thing by teaching their kids to be independent. I knew it was coming. This is the main reason why I do not attend an actual church. The only time I do church, but that should be from YouTube. And I listen to Pastor Stephen Furtick and John Gray, because they don't look down on homosexuality or transgenders or any of that shit. They don't look down on that. And it hurts me because I have plenty of friends that are gay, lesbian, transgender, pansexual. I have family members that are in homosexual relationships, marriages. In the Bible, a lot of people, a lot of pastors, and a lot of the congregation love to skip over the part where it says, thou shalt not judge. And you know why God say thou shalt not judge? Because you're not fucking God. You don't have that authority to judge a motherfucker. That's God's job. Love thy neighbor regardless. Y'all love to talk about Jesus. Y'all love to talk about Jesus. But some of y'all like to skip over the prostitute and the thieves that he saved. Jesus wasn't rolling with no rich motherfuckers. People that was putting on this fucking facade to make it seem like they're so holier than thou. Jesus was hanging out with the motherfucking poor. He was hanging out with prostitutes. He was hanging out with people that had baggage. People that people looked down upon. But you got pastors like fucking T.D. Jakes that like to still down talk, degrade people that don't align with the Bible. The shit they want to pick and choose out of the Bible. Thou shalt not judge because you're not God. And it's a scripture in the Bible. It's in Thessalonians. I can't pronounce that for shit. But 1 Thessalonians or 2 Thessalonians, one of those. But it says, it doesn't say exactly this, but this is what it says. Thou shalt mind their motherfucking business. A lot of pastors like to skip over a lot of shit in the Bible because they skip over it because it reads them for fucking filth. They want to feel good about themselves and make it seem like they finna get into heaven. But what y'all fail to realize, God don't fucking forget. And when judgment day does come, you gotta answer to every fucking thing. Every single thing that you've done. But they like to skip over that shit. T.D. Jakes. I don't even see how you got a congregation. People probably go to your church because you got a nice big church. My pastor drive. How you gonna talk about what women brag about and how y'all don't care? But you the one that's driving around in luxury ass cars. You the one that's living in a fucking mansion, 21 to 31 fucking bedrooms and 78 fucking bathrooms. Not saying that's exactly what he got, but that's just an example. You got a movie theater, a bowling alley. You got everything that they got in the fucking community in your fucking house. And you want to sit up here and talk about somebody else bragging about what the fuck they got. When you bragging, when you pull up in your motherfucking luxury car every fucking service. But we not going to talk about that. We ain't going to talk about that. Because that hit too close to home. That building ain't no fucking temple. In the Bible, it says your body is the temple. Y'all got that shit confused. Your body is the temple, not the building that you preaching in. I don't get pastors. Y'all ask for all this fucking money like y'all don't get a fucking government check to cover y'all utilities and y'all fucking rent every month from the fucking government. The funds, the building funds, this fund, that fund, the vacation fund, let's go out to fucking eat fund, let's support Africa fund. All these goddamn funds for what? Oh, that's them funds that's going to pay for that high-ass light bill and that high-ass water bill, that high-ass gas bill, them car notes, that car insurance. You want to sit up here talking about somebody raising their fucking daughter to be fucking independent. Out here trying to sue fucking Gucci Mane for using your fucking sermon when your ass should have been thankful that a rapper would want to use your fucking sermon. And since when do you copyright a fucking sermon? A message that you got from the Lord. The Lord wants you to spread the fucking word, not make money off of it. And that's all I got to say, because he getting me real pissed off with his old shaky ass. Drop y'all comments down below. Let me know what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next one.